Give you a brief history of some commentary I'm having with someone on here. Now, I was looking at Main Thoughts videos one day last week, I believe it was, or over the weekend, and or no, it wasn't Main Thought. It was Stylistic, and he was talking about this YouTuber man that goes by the name of RealBlack1. So I went and I clicked on his videos to see why he was saying what he was saying about him. And I'm like, okay. So I clicked on a video that said black women. Without black men, you wouldn't exist. So some of the things he said in there, I was like, huh? So what I did, I left a comment. This was 2 weeks ago. I said, what woman came out of your body? You came out of a woman's placenta, sac, and uterus. Women don't come from men. He replied today, or last night, I guess it was. I'm not sure what time it was, but it says 22 hours ago. So I'm like, you all tell me if I'm wrong in everything that I'm saying here, because I don't claim to know it all. I can be wrong, but I'm like, what? I just couldn't understand this. So he replied. He said, yeah, women do come out of us, meaning men. Before you were in your mother's womb, you were a sperm cell in your father's loins. So you were in a man first, then planted in a woman. I replied, I said, no, the woman has the egg which produces the baby. The sperm is just fertilizer. And he said, no, the egg does not produce the baby. The sperm cell is the child, and it is planted in the egg, and from there it grows. The egg is not the child. The egg stays in the womb, and the sperm cell goes in and comes out a child. He said the egg stays in the womb, and the sperm cell goes in and comes out a child. So I replied, I said, you need to read and learn more about reproduction. The egg does produce the baby, along with the semen containing sperm from the man. Both the male and the female reproductive system are essential for reproduction. The female only needs a male to fertilize her egg, even though it is she who carries the offspring through pregnancy and childbirth. I said, and I was in my mother, not my father. If he had not fertilized the egg, which was me, I would not be here. So I am here because of them both, not just one, but I came out of my mother. He replied and said, I know it takes both. That is obvious. But what you don't get is that the sperm cell is the child. The egg is not the child. The sperm cell goes in and comes out. The egg does not come out. You were a sperm cell once. He replied again and said, no, you were not in your mother. You were not the egg, you were the sperm cell. You came out of your father and was planted in your mother, then came out of her. You were never the egg. The same egg is still in your mother now. You are a grown-up sperm cell. You are here because of both, but you came out of your father before you came out of your mother. So my last reply to him was, I'm beginning to believe what others are posting in the comments about you. The same egg that was in my mother or any other woman in 1973 is not in a woman's body anymore. And I said the ovaries are, however. Ovaries store the egg. Eggs are released once a month normally if they are not fertilized by the male sperm within a 24 to 48 hour period. They dry up and break apart in the fallopian tubes. The thick lining of the uterus sheds along with extra blood during the menstrual period. I said I was an egg that my father fertilized. Now, don't get me wrong. Like I said, I don't know it all, but somebody, tell me if I'm wrong. How are you going to say that the same egg is still in my mother now? I'm a woman. I have a menstrual cycle every month. and I know what that menstrual cycle is composed of. I have 2 ovaries, one on the left and one on the right. I know that these 2 ovaries hold eggs. We are born with 400,000 eggs. From the time we're born, we hold 400,000 eggs in our ovaries. During ovulation, an egg is released into the fallopian tube either from the right ovary or from the left ovary. Sometimes from both ovaries, which will then result in twins if both eggs get fertilized. But normally it's just one egg. And after so many days during ovulation, if that egg is not fertilized by the sperm from the man, that egg dries up, breaks apart, and then the thick lining that happens during ovulation, your uterus creates a thick lining which prepares you for pregnancy. If that egg is not fertilized, like I said, it dries up and breaks apart in the fallopian tube, and then the thick lining of the uterus that was created sheds out through the vagina along with extra blood during the menstrual cycle that lasts anywhere from 1 to 5 days. Now I just noticed he just commented back to me and he said, no, you were not. You were a sperm cell that fertilized an egg. You are not an egg. Of course I'm not an egg now, but I used to be an egg. When I was in my mother's fallopian, in her ovaries, and was released into her fallopian tube, and my father fertilized me. Y'all come in and tell me what y'all think about this. His name is RealBlack1. I'm beginning to believe what they're saying about you dudes. I really am. Holla.